It's been a few years since we've been to CES, but the big tech convention is back, so we spent the last week doing CES things. We played with new gadgets, saw some truly overpowered drones and colorful cars. We shook hands with robots, tested our urine. Monica almost ate it while rollerblading with electric skates. And then we saw many, many monitors and even more TVs, like lots and lots of TVs. But what products actually stood out in this year's show? Here's our picks for the best of CES.
Coming out of the show, my favorite TV, bar none, is Samsung's S95C QD OLED. So the cool thing about this TV is that it uses the second generation of Samsung's QD OLED display panels. They're even brighter than last year and more durable and power efficient too, so we're told. QD OLED, QD stands for quantum dot, can produce richer colors at higher brightness levels than normal OLEDs like those from LG. It's not a big difference, but it is the kind of thing that home theater nerds like me and many of you do notice. This year, that panel can hit up to 2,000 nits of brightness. That's right up there with the very best mini LED TVs on the market today. It's got VRR gaming up to 144 Hz, Dolby Atmos speakers built right in, but still no Dolby Vision, which... Even so, I think Samsung learned a lot last year with the S95B, and this model should be even better. It's destined to be a fantastic TV in 2023. But what about the future? That's where LG's signature OLED M comes in. It's a giant 97-inch 4K OLED TV that gets all of its audio and video wirelessly from a small black box called the Zero Connect box. That box is where you plug in all your gizmos and gaming consoles and Blu-ray players and stuff like that, and all of it gets beamed over to the big screen TV at up to 4K 120 Hz, or so LG claims at least. So then the only cord you have to worry about is power. That gives you a lot more flexibility and freedom about where the TV goes, where you mount it, and much fewer cables to have to worry about. But there are a lot of unknowns. For one, this TV is going to be super expensive. I don't know how much, but it's going to be up there. Second, all the wireless tech making this happen is LG's own proprietary stuff, which is never great. And third, I'm more than a little concerned about latency for you gamers out there. Wireless could be risky. But more than this TV itself, the most exciting part is that wireless concept. Someday, this will trickle down to TVs that you and I can buy, and that's going to be awesome. When? Probably long after people are driving their Sony cars on the road, so it's going to be a while. But this is a glimpse of the future, and at the end of the day, that's what CES is all about.
So our award for Best Evolution of a Concept goes to the BMW i Vision Dee. Last year, BMW showed off an EV concept that could literally change color thanks to an exterior surface that was powered by e-ink. We loved it, but the monochromatic look could basically just shift between black, white, and gray, left a lot to be desired. So it was very cool to see BMW come back this year with a similar concept that adds a whole rainbow of color options. The i Vision Dee can shift between 32 different color options thanks to its e-ink surface, and each segment can be individually controlled to present a different color. There's also an AR windshield and a talking digital assistant that can express different moods. Will any of this tech make it into a production vehicle? Probably not anytime soon, but in the future, it's anyone's guess. So our award for best car at CES is the Sony Afeela. Sony promised that it was going to bring an electric car to CES this year, and it did, but I don't think any of us were really prepared for what we saw. Afeela, yeah, that's right. Afeela is the name that Sony is giving to its lineup of electric vehicles that it plans to make with Honda. Really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Afeela. The silly brand names aside, the car itself looks legit. It basically presents as a cross between a Porsche 911 and a Lucid Air. Not the most unique design we've ever seen, but very sleek, very shiny, and positively brimming with tech. Sony name-checked a bunch of big names during its presentation, including Epic's Unreal Engine and Qualcomm. And they promised that 45 cameras and sensors affixed to the outside of the vehicle will help with autonomous driving. It may even have a built-in PS5 at some point. Why not? Dream big, Sony.
So I'm giving the best laptop of CES award to Lenovo's dual-screen YogaBook 9i. Now, when I first saw this announced at Lenovo's presentation, I had a ton of questions, such as, why are we releasing another dual-screen device? And where is the touchpad? But I actually got to try the thing for myself in Vegas this week, and it's really fun to use. So there are all kinds of gestures. You can flick the windows between the two screens. You can maximize the window to fill the two screens, and it's like a waterfall when you scroll. There's a stylus in the back. There's a virtual touchpad. There's a haptic keyboard. It's really fun to use. There are tons of tips and tricks, and I think Lenovo has really done a lot of work to make sure that the software makes this computer actually usable and useful. So we will not know for sure how useful and usable this device actually is until we have a full production unit in our hands. But so far, I haven't seen any glitches, I didn't get any blue screens, the gestures all worked really well, and I'm sure there are a lot more that we didn't even learn about in our brief demo period. So I'm really excited to review this, and it's looking really good so far.
Deciding on the best monitor at CES 2023 was really tough. But my pick for the best one goes to Samsung's curved 49-inch QD OLED gaming monitor, mostly because it delivers QD OLED in a wacky new size. This monitor has an ultra-wide 32:9 aspect ratio with a 5120x1440 resolution. Games that support this aspect ratio should look awesome. I'm also excited because this is one of the few OLED monitors announced at CES that has a glossy screen instead of an anti-glare coating, so colors and contrast should really pop. It also has Samsung's Gaming Hub interface, allowing you to connect a controller so you can stream cloud games through Xbox Cloud Gaming and NVIDIA GeForce Now. If you aren't a gamer, Samsung's Viewfinity S9 may be an alluring choice, especially if you're a creator. Its 27-inch size and 5K resolution is a match for Apple's own Studio display. We don't know the price yet, but my guess is that Samsung wants to undercut Apple's $1599 starting price point. This one's flooded with ports, including one Thunderbolt 4 port, 3 USB-C ports, and DisplayPort. Not to mention, it can charge laptops at up to 96 watts.
Alright, so this next gadget might seem a little weird, but the best health tech award is going to go to the Withings U-Scan. It's an at-home, hands-free, urinary scanner that you just basically stick in your toilet bowl and pee on. The reason why this is cool is that, you're gonna pee every day anyway. And so when you take a tinkle, the reader collects a small sample and basically runs a bunch of tests depending on which cartridge you get. And you don't have to do anything to activate it. You can just pee as you normally would, and the reader will be able to tell the difference between water and urine, as well as who's actually doing the peeing. So if you have a chronic metabolic condition, this can be really helpful and convenient. You can just pee like normal in the comfort of your own home and then get the results immediately on an app on your phone. That's huge. It'll release in Europe sometime in 2023, but it's still pending FDA clearance here in the US. That said, it's already being used in clinical research. I mean, that's pretty cool. For pee.
AMD's new X3D desktop chips for PC gaming were a super exciting announcement at CES this year, but it was Sony's new accessibility controller that really impressed me. Codenamed Project Leonardo, the PS5 accessibility controller will work with third-party accessories to bring even greater PlayStation support for gamers with disabilities. Sony's first-party games have been really good at offering up robust accessibility options already, but this new controller can adapt to a range of needs thanks to customizable buttons, joystick tops, and the ability to integrate specialty switches, buttons, and analog sticks. Sadly, we didn't get to film Project Leonardo at CES, and there's no word on exactly when Sony is planning to launch this, but I'm still super happy to see big names like Sony and Microsoft deliver accessibility controllers that really help more people play.
My pick for the best smart home device at CES, the Aqara FP2, is a presence sensor. It can detect movement in a room as small as you breathing, which means it's not going to turn off the lights on you because you were sitting too still while you were reading your book. It can also detect multiple people, and it can actually monitor different spaces in your room, so you can set up automations as fine-tuned as when I get out of bed in the morning, turn on the lights, but don't do it if there's someone else in the room. The sensor uses Wi-Fi, and it's powered by USB-C, and it will cost $60. It will work with Apple Home, Amazon Alexa, Samsung SmartThings, and eventually it will be upgraded to support Matter. It doesn't need a smart home hub, and it can do automations locally. This type of intelligent motion detection will help provide the smart home the context it sorely needs, enabling really specific automations such as turn on the light to read mode when I sit in this chair after 7 p.m., It's going to work with Apple Home, Samsung SmartThings, Amazon Alexa, and eventually Matter. This year, the smart home at CES was bigger, bolder, and brighter, with a huge presence on the show floor, and one really hot topic, Matter. Matter is a new smart home standard, and it is our pick for Best in Show CES 2023. Yes, that's right, not a laptop, not a computer, not a giant TV, but a protocol. And this protocol might just help bring the smart home to life. Announced at CES in 2019, Matter is actually a partnership between Apple, Google, Samsung, Amazon, and a whole host of companies in the smart home. Just over 3 years later, the standard is here, and those big players, they're all still working together to bring it to your home. Not all the chatter on the show floor has been totally positive. There's a lot of concern about backward compatibility, and for a standard that's designed to make things easier, it's currently confoundingly complicated. But one thing was clear, every company with a toe in the smart home was talking about Matter. The challenge will be continuing Matter's momentum to get it to a place where it's as recognizable as other protocols like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. For that to happen, Matter is going to have to deliver on some of its promises pretty quickly. And all those competitors will have to continue playing nicely together for a lot longer.
CES really felt like it was back this year, and that is incredibly exciting to me as someone who likes to nerd out about tech. So what did you see that you don't have the money to spend on, but you'd probably spend the money on? Drop it down below. For me, electric rollerblades would be really cool and pretty dangerous. I want it. New year, new merch. What's up? It's super cool. I don't actually wear a lot of black, but this is sweet. That's down below as well. I hope you're well, bud. Happy New Year.